Scotland doesn't begin on a map. It begins with a feeling, with the wind rolling in from the North Atlantic, with the mist slowly drifting down over the Highland peaks, with dark, deep lochs where the water feels older than memory itself. Here, islands disappear into cold waves. Castles cling to the cliffs as if time simply passes them by. And the land is so quiet that, in that silence, you can almost hear history. Scotland is a place where nature speaks louder than people, where every road doesn't just take you forward, it takes you deeper, into legends, into the wind, into stone, into the past. And this is where our journey together begins, through this wild and beautiful land. If this is the kind of travel that speaks to you, subscribe to my channel. There are many more places ahead that are worth not just seeing, but truly feeling. Edinburgh is the kind of city you do not really need to explain. You just need to see it. Honestly, one look is enough, and it stays with you. The capital of Scotland rises across volcanic hills, and you can feel that everywhere. In the steep streets, in the stone, in the skyline, in the way the whole city seems to grow straight out of the rock. The streets here do not simply run through the city. They feel like they were born with the landscape itself. And you know what makes Edinburgh so fascinating? It feels like two worlds living side by side. The old town is medieval, dense, and a little dark. Narrow closes, tall stone buildings. That strange feeling that history is not something that happened long ago. It is still here, standing just around the corner. And above it all rises Edinburgh Castle. It sits on top of the rock as if it was not built there, but carved out of the earth itself. Just imagine it. This fortress has seen wars, kings, sieges, and centuries of change. And yet it still remains the heart of the city. It is hard not to stop and look at it one more time, isn't it? From the castle, the Royal Mile stretches downhill, one of the most famous streets in Scotland. A stone ribbon connecting Edinburgh Castle with the Palace of Holyrood House. And here, every step has a story. Every turn, every facade, every stone beneath your feet. Edinburgh does not just show you the past, it makes you walk through it. After the city, Scotland changes completely, and you feel it almost the moment you arrive on the Isle of Skye. It is like someone flips a switch. One minute you have streets, buildings, and city rhythm, and the next, you are in a different world. Wild, open, and completely raw. And honestly, Skye is not just an island. It feels like a world of its own. The land here looks almost untouched by civilization. Cliffs fall straight into the ocean. Mountains rise through the mist. And the wind feels like it never stops. Everything here feels bigger, stronger, older. The ocean around Skye is open and powerful. The waves travel from far away, crossing thousands of kilometers before crashing into these rugged shores. And when you stand there, you can actually feel it. That force, that scale. One of the most famous places on the island is Neist Point, a cliff reaching out into the ocean, and a lighthouse standing there, as if beyond it there is only the edge of the world. And honestly, this is not a place that needs too many words. Why would it? Sometimes it is enough just to stand there and watch the water meet the rock, while the wind moves through you and reminds you how small a person can feel next to nature like this. But Skye is not only about the coast. Further inland, the landscape changes again. And this is where it really starts to feel like legends could be true. What if stories like that were born in places exactly like this? On Skye, it is very easy to believe they were. The road through the Highlands is not just a way to get from one place to another. It is a whole part of the journey. And one of its most iconic symbols is the Glenfinnan Viaduct. You have probably seen it before, even if you do not immediately remember where. A stone curve stretching gracefully across the valley, 21 arches reaching over the green landscape, almost following its natural rhythm. And you know what is strange? It looks as if it has always been here, as if nature itself had left a place for it. But in reality, this is a masterpiece of Victorian engineering. Carefully designed, precise, man-made, and yet so perfectly placed that it hardly feels foreign to the landscape at all. The Glenfinnan Viaduct is part of the West Highland Line, one of the most beautiful railway routes in the world. And when a train crosses it, everything around seems to slow down. It moves gently, slowly, almost ceremonially. And it feels like the train is not simply crossing the valley, it is becoming part of it. All around you are the true Highlands, soft, grassy hills, water reflecting the sky, and that wide open space that somehow makes you breathe a little deeper. Below the viaduct lies Loch Ness, long, calm, almost perfectly still. The kind of place you look at, and for a few seconds, you simply forget to speak. Because sometimes travel is not only about where you are going. Sometimes the strongest moment happens somewhere in between. Some places look as if they were created to represent an entire country. And Eilean Donan Castle is exactly that kind of place. Honestly, when you see it for the first time, one question comes to mind. How can this place even be real? The castle stands on a small island where 3 lochs meet. Water surrounds it on every side. Around it, there are mountains, mist, stone, and light that keeps changing every few minutes. And it feels as if the castle was not simply built here. It feels as if it grew out of the land itself, out of the rock, out of the water, out of history. A narrow stone bridge leads to the castle. At first, it seems like a simple detail, but it is exactly what makes the whole scene feel perfect. Because when you walk across that bridge, it does not feel like you are just crossing over to an island. It feels like you are crossing into another time. And isn't that the kind of moment we travel for? The first fortifications appeared here as early as the 13th century. The castle was built as a defense against the Vikings and as a strategic point for controlling the surrounding waterways. So this place was not just beautiful. It mattered. A lot. Over the centuries, Eilean Donan lived through wars, sieges, and destruction. In the 18th century, it was almost completely destroyed, and for a long time it remained nothing more than stone ruins surrounded by water. Eilean Donan is not just a castle. It is an image of Scotland that feels as if it has always existed. And when you stand in front of it, it is very easy to understand why. Because sometimes travel is not only about where you are going. Sometimes the strongest moment happens somewhere in between. Some places live not only in reality, they live in the imagination too. Loch Ness is one of those places. The loch stretches for almost 40 kilometers through the Highlands, like a dark ribbon between the hills. Long, quiet, and just a little unsettling. You can feel it too, right? The moment you look at it, it feels like there is something more here than just water. And maybe that feeling comes from the depth itself. The water is cold and dark, and in some places it is more than 200 meters deep. That depth creates a very particular sense of the unknown, something you cannot fully explain, but you definitely feel. Then there is the color. The water in Loch Ness is almost black. Because of the peat and minerals, it does not really reflect the light, it absorbs it. And that is where the story begins, because out of that darkness, a legend was born. Nessie, the creature people claim to have seen in the water. For decades, visitors have come here hoping for the same thing. Maybe this time, they will catch a glimpse of something they cannot explain. And honestly, who would not want to believe it, even for a second? You stand by the shore, look out across the water, and your imagination starts working on its own. But even without the legend, Loch Ness has a power of its own. A real one. Quiet. Almost hypnotic. After the wild landscapes, a city appears again. But not suddenly, not loudly, not in the way big cities usually do. Inverness welcomes you quietly. It is often called the capital of the Highlands. But you know what is interesting? It does not try to feel big. And that is exactly where its charm is. The River Ness runs through Inverness. It divides the city into two parts and sets the rhythm for everything around it. Slow, steady, almost meditative. Life here moves more gently. No sharp contrasts, no constant noise, no feeling that you have to rush somewhere. And after the Highlands, you really notice that, don't you? It feels like nature has not fully let you go yet, but civilization is already close again. Above the river, on a hill, stands Inverness Castle. Today, it is more of a modern building, but it still carries the feeling of an older foundation beneath it, as if layers of earlier centuries are still resting under those walls. And that is Scotland. Not just a country with beautiful landscapes, but a place where every road, every castle, every loch, and every gust of wind seems to carry its own story. From the dark streets of Edinburgh to the wild Isle of Skye, from ancient fortresses to quiet lochs, from the city to open spaces where nature speaks louder than words. And maybe that is why Scotland stays with you. It does not try to impress you all at once. It slowly finds its way in. If you enjoyed this journey, make sure to subscribe to the channel. There are many more places, stories, and routes ahead that are absolutely worth seeing. Leave a like. Tell me in the comments which place in Scotland impressed you the most, and I will see you in the next journey.